It is mailbag time here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report, and some people would say that means it is time to touch our bags and drop our sacks on this edition of the program. The Chiefs have some very promising news to get to in regards to Hollywood Brown and Harrison Butker. We will examine those questions and more. I got a little sneak peek at the mailbag. You may be wondering, how do I already know those questions are coming? I'm not going to give away my sources, but I did take a little peek. We'll go over all of those questions and more coming up in just a moment. But first, I want to make sure not only you're subscribed to the channel, but also have your notifications turned on. You're part of what we call the Noti Gang here on the Chiefs Report. We're bringing you daily videos, live shows on Tuesdays. That's where we answer your mailbag questions. So if you want to be a part of our next mailbag show, subscribe, turn on notifications, join us for our next live Tuesday show. Get your questions in. We'll react to them right here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Subscribe now for free. We'll get started with today's show. First question comes from Les One with a $5 super chat writing in. Who is your favorite player/players for the Chiefs 2024 roster? Number 7 is my favorite so far, Butker Clutch. I do love me some Harrison Butker. I feel like, Les One, that the obvious answers are Mahomes and Kelce, and if you had to pick just one or two, that should be what pretty much everybody chooses, right? They've done so much for everybody. I get that. But then if I were to take a step further of who I really like on this Chiefs team, just as a football guy, as somebody that enjoys this game and for what it is, I love watching the way Isaiah Pacheco runs with authority, with that power he brings to the table, just puts his head down, just goes to work. That's a bring your lunch pail guy, Isaiah Pacheco. And they don't grow Pachecos on trees. Running backs are not built like Isaiah Pacheco. I think he's a top 5 back in this league. Pacheco would be probably my answer, but there's so many to choose from. There's so many great answers, but Les One, that would probably be the one I'd point to. KC Kingdom writes in, what's the latest in Hollywood Brown's return? So this week, he has a visit with his doctor to try to get a evaluation of where he's at. And if all goes according to plan, then Hollywood Brown could be back in time for the Steelers game on Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody. We can say that again. Hollywood Brown, if he's back on Christmas, there's a possibility where the Chiefs could have home field clinched before Christmas, be resting their starters, and everyone else sitting out, and then Hollywood comes back and has a couple tune-ups with the second and third teamers. Now, I don't think they're going to have it wrapped before Christmas, but that's a possibility that could happen. But everything looks promising. Remember the initial reports for Hollywood Brown when he was injured was that he would be back hopefully in time for the playoffs, for the postseason. And now he looks kind of ahead of schedule. If he's back by Christmas, then that's, 2-3 weeks before the postseason? And the thought was initially divisional round. I mean, obviously the Chiefs aren't likely to play in the wild card round, so even if he has a setback of some sorts, you still have some more time before that divisional round. So, yeah, everything looks pretty good for Hollywood Brown making his return to Kansas City before the end of the regular season. I'm excited, and that's only going to add another impact player to this Chiefs offense. Will Hollywood Brown have a big impact in his return? What I'm hoping for, folks, is something similar to what Sammy Watkins did in those playoff runs with Kansas City. Sammy, say what you will about the guy. He got banged up a lot, but he made some big plays in the postseason. I think Sammy's going to be in the Ring of Honor one day for what he did for the Chiefs in the postseason. If Marquise Brown could do that where, hey, we didn't hear from him all year, but he came through in the playoffs, watch out. I think that's what we're looking at here. Do you think he will? Why for yes, in for no? Weigh in. Tell us what you think. Today's show is sponsored by our friends at Public Rec. I'm wearing their fantastic shirt right now. Not only does it look good, it's extremely comfortable as well. Let's be real, guys. Wearing pants, socks, Who decided that stiff, uncomfortable fabric squeezing your family jewels was the key to looking sharp? Well, here's an early holiday gift from me to you. Those days are finally over. Public Rec's Daymaker pants are here to make sure you stay comfy and classy this season. They feel like your favorite sweats, but look like tailored pants. Yup, super stretchy with an elastic waistband so you can rock them anywhere. Whether you're kicking back with holiday movies and making your way through leftovers or watching bowl games with the boys, these pants have you covered. Heck, they'll even keep you looking sharp for that awkward holiday party with your in-laws. Give the gift of comfort to yourself or someone you love this holiday season with Public Rec's Daymaker pants. And for a limited time, you can get 20% off your entire order with code CHAT20 at publicrec.com. That's 20% off when you use promo code CHAT20 at publicrec.com. So my father, who watches this show, he found out that he is getting some Public Rec for the holidays. But that's okay. Dad, you're going to enjoy it. You don't know what I'm getting you just yet, Dad, so take that. Whether it's for your dad, your brother, your uncle, cousin, whatever, set them up with Public Rec. They're going to love it, folks. Public Rec not only has the most comfortable pants ever made, but they have a huge selection of high-quality, everyday basics. You can revamp your entire wardrobe with their perfect-fitting polos, shorts, and hoodies. Stop suffering in regular pants and give the gift of comfort this holiday season. For a limited time only, our listeners get 20% off when you use code CHAT20 at checkout. That's 20% off with the code CHAT20 at publicrec.com. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Say goodbye to pants that put up a fight, because when comfort meets style, you found Public Rec. Shad writes in, if Humphreys can't play, should KC start Thuney at left tackle, Joe Thuney at left tackle? He's done better than anyone else. I see where you're going at here, but I don't want to take Joe Thuney away from his natural position at the left guard spot. I know that Wanya Morris has not been good. Kingsley hasn't done good either. But that's what I would do if I was Kansas City. I would go ahead and start Wanya and keep Joe at his left guard spot. Believe me, I understand where you're coming from. It's not a bad idea. But I want to get the most out of Joe Thuney, and that's playing left guard. It's not playing left tackle. He, is a former All-Pro, Pro Bowler at the left guard spot. If he was made to play left tackle, he would be playing left tackle. So I don't want to take that away from Joe. I want to keep him at left guard if possible and roll with Wanya until Humphreys potentially can come back. We'll see, but it's a fair question. Goat Mahomes writes in, what's the latest on Harrison Butker? Well, we haven't heard of any setbacks from Butker. It was expected to be 4 or 5 weeks that he was out, that he'd go on injured reserve. But I got to tell you, as nice as it was, winning that game against the Chargers after Wright's game-winning doink, it did make me a little nervous because that was a chip shot. I can't wait till Harrison gets back. The kicking game has held strong. They have done their part without Harrison Butker there. But with the way Justin Tucker's playing, Harrison Butker's the best kicker in the NFL right now, bar none, without question. 90% field goals made, making the extra points. He does his job. He is not a liability whatsoever. I cannot wait till Butker gets back. So it's promising. Does not seem like that there's going to be any setbacks. That Butker should be back into the fold, and I think a big difference maker. I mean, Harrison Butker, you got to talk about him like old Justin Tucker, where he is essentially an offensive weapon at this point with how reliable he's been. He's been that good. So, yes, Harrison Butker, everything seems promising about his potential return. Do you believe in Harrison Butker? America's kicker, Harrison Butker. Type B for believe, D for don't. I can't wait till he's back. I think it'll be a difference for this Chiefs team. Weigh in, let us know. Chad says, who would you cut to pick up KJ Osborne? I think Nico would be the obvious one to cut. Just send him back to the practice squad. If you really want to go there, Clyde Edwards-Helaire would be a possibility. There's a number of guys. I would bring in KJ Osborne without hesitation and give him a roster spot. I mean, heck, even just, putting a guy on injured reserve, if I hate to say it, but at the time of this recording, we don't know what DJ Humphrey's status is going to be. If DJ Humphreys has to go in IR, there's your roster spot potentially. You can find room. You can find a spot for KJ Osborne if you do decide to sign him. Tony writes in, I have so much fun in our live watch parties, Tyler. I rewatch watch parties, too. I rewatch the past Chiefs Report watch parties when there's nothing else to watch on YouTube. Tony, good to hear. Thanks for supporting the show. Tony, best of luck to you in San Antonio. Stay away from Walmart. Let's get you a job at HEB, my guy. Big Tex has got a girlfriend for you, too. So we're here to help, Tony. Chiefs Report is looking out for you. John writes in, final question. What can the Chiefs do to improve the red zone touchdown scoring? You know, Isaiah Pacheco should help. Getting him back to 100%, getting him more involved in the offense, I think is going to help the red zone scoring. And I'm not as concerned as other people are because you're winning football games. You're figuring it out. I think just more touches for Pacheco, Hunt and short yardage. You got Kelce. Kelce's exactly what you need. Get the ball to Kelce more in the red zone. Deshaun Hopkins. The guy's like 6'10". Not really, but you get the idea. Get the ball to your big weapons and run the football with Pacheco and Hunt. It's that simple. Should solve itself. For continuing Chiefs coverage, subscribe now to the Chiefs Report. Turn on notifications. We appreciate you guys joining us. We will see you on our watch party coming up on Sunday afternoon. So long.